Hello and welcome to the 17th season of IFAR. This is the IFAR 250 here at Daytona. I am joined tonight by Mr. Victor Delgado III.
Hello, hello.
And we're in for a half-distance Daytona 500, 250 miles tonight. It's going to be a lot of interesting strategy, a lot of interesting racing, and it's going to be quite the endurance for some of these guys.
Yes, sir. It's going to be one of 3 endurance races on the IFAR calendar, much like last season. Got the IFAR 250 tonight, the Coca-Cola 300 at Charlotte Speedway, and Talladega, which is now converted to a regular season finale, also 100 laps.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a fairly large field tonight, a little bit over, I think probably we're going to have around 30. They haven't started qualifying yet. A bit of a pre-race stuff, getting all that ready to go.
Yep, just ensuring that everyone gets a fair chance to qualify and subsequently race. I hate to see people miss out because of game issues, although the track is a little big. AGG did ensure he compressed it just a little bit, so hopefully we see less game crashes.
Let's see what we got. Oh, there goes qualifying time.
Drivers, to your cars.
So while qualifying's ongoing, might as well talk about the rest of the schedule since it is a new season and we got lots to look forward to. Daytona tonight, obviously, then round number 2, Atlanta Motor Speedway. This is the old surface, 100 laps over there. Round 3 goes to Pocono, 55 laps. Round 4, a brand new venue, not just for IFAR, but for the NR community as a whole. Coronado, or better known as San Diego. It's going to be 30 laps around this San Diego Navy base. Take it up round 4. Homestead for round 5, 100 laps. Charlotte, 200 laps as we alluded to for round number 6. Iowa, 115 laps round number 7. Round 8 as Darlington for 120 laps. Used to play those for the regular season finale, but not anymore. Texas will be round number 9, and Talladega regular season finale. The chase returns for a second consecutive season, with Watkins Glen opening up the chase with 45 laps around there. Technically it's half distance, although at least when NASCAR upgrading their race to 100 laps, it technically isn't. Las Vegas, round 12, 100 laps. Fontana, California, round number 13, will be 75 laps. Penultimate race at Phoenix, 100 laps. And we return to Chicago for the season finale.
So a pretty big schedule there. A lot of different races. A lot of, obviously you pointed out Coronado. It's going to be a very interesting challenge for these guys. I'm curious to see how they will tackle that, and along with some other different variations of the schedule as well.
Still got a couple more minutes at least until qualifying is up, so and about early season predictions, we already saw, well, a good bit of what happened last season. Gian Bononi able to outclass everyone during the chase to win the Drivers' Championship. Scuderia Carmona Racing returns to form with their Constructors' Championship. So with those two defending champions, drivers and teams respectively, who do you got to go all out for season 17?
It's going to be an interesting season. We've had some drivers switch from different teams. We see Harry Crawford. He's joined over to SCR now, so he's running a different number. You don't really see him in the 76. He's going to be in the 44 this time around. Joshua Clemens, he's moved over to Shejidan. So I think the Shejidan group has a pretty strong roster. Seen Cole Rodriguez, he moved over to Star Sport. So it's very going to be very interesting to see over the season where the teams pan out, but I really think the big 3 is going to be kind of similar to what it was last season with Scuderia Carmona Racing, Star Sport, and Shejidan Racing. At least in my opinion.
Yep, I'm good. I feel bad for Viola because if the change didn't exist, he would have won it all the Drivers' Championship with no resets and all that. I feel like this is the season where he rebounds. I feel like, as well as SCR returning to their glory, quote unquote, with their Constructors' Championship 2 seasons in a row, I feel like Viola may take this season's Drivers' Championship.
I think that's a good call there. He definitely has the pace and consistency to make that happen. But again, we got to get through round 1 tonight, and then that after tonight kicks off the rest of the season. There's, like you said, there's a lot of different races, some longer races they're introducing. It's gonna be very interesting overall.
And with that, qualifying has wrapped up. Happy Hour has begun. Valley GG goes over Happy Hour in full detail because it is a new season, new drivers taking up the challenge that IFAR has to provide. We might as well look over the starting grid. And speaking of AGG, he wins pole alongside his right-hand man of IFR, Joshua Clements. Then row 2 is a tie between Viola and Cole Rodriguez. Row 3 has Lando Lau and Daniel Rivera. Row 4 has Jelani Howell and Thomas Troxel. Row 5, Trevor Davis and Tyler Aziz. Skylar Den and Ruby Estes in row 6. Row 7, Sebastian Maya and William Gregory, with Harry Crawford and Ryan Skerritt behind them in row 8. Row 9 has Daniel Silla and Daniel Rodriguez, Jiko Shironome and Cameron Jamison in row 10. Row 11 has Carl Childress and Connor Bloom. I haven't seen him in a little while. Be Phil Parker and Thomas Johnson in row 12. Chris Dahlmeyer and Joe Schmuda in row 13. Row 14, Lorenzo Ekrovic, Funkick, I don't know if I said that right, and Garcia Muya in row 14. Defending champion Gino Benoni starting really deep in 29th, and Roman Gonzalez joins him in row 15. And concluding the grid will be Austin Barnett and Landon Longback.
And these guys got a bit of a longer happy hour than what you'd see in most leagues. A little 10-minute session just to get acclimated, get everything ready before things are set to go. 100 laps tonight.
And
I know I already said it,
that if you're pinning on the green,
but
you gotta stay to the right of the white
250
line.
miles
Pretty sure.
around for this race.
Well, Zach, it's Daytona. It's crucial even to have partners on you. You mentioned a little bit during qualifying about the teams, SCR, Star Sport, and all of them. I feel like in terms of organizational, I feel like a Ford may be one of the threats for this season's IFAR 250. At least with last season's race, they led a combined 58 laps. Echo Park didn't do so much, failing to lead a single lap then. But Talladega, it was all Gino Bononi carrying the Ford program, leading all 57 laps Ford has accumulated over there. So, Ford, as long as they get together and Chevy doesn't beat them to the punch, what do you got?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be a bit of a team game, but I think it's also going to be finding those guys you trust and knowing who can work and hold the line and make the lanes pull forward. I think that's really going to be the name of the game here. There's going to be some manufacturer games. There's going to be some, find your buddies, but I think it's really also kind of going to be a learning experience for some of these guys. And, like Connor Bloom hasn't raced here in a while, so I think he's going to be trying to find some guys that he's comfortable drafting with, and other guys like who can I pick on right now? Austin Barnett hasn't raced here in IFAR here in a minute. He's another guy he's got a fresh set of eyes into this league, so it's going to be interesting to see how those guys do and how those guys fare with guys that have ran here, for some of them, several consecutive seasons. So I think we're in for some interesting just strategy, but as well as like finding who you want to work with for this race.
And I feel for them. It's like, you haven't been an IFAR for quite a while, or just NR in general, and you just kind of see how much this league has transformed. Like, I want to bring up like 3-4 years ago, you wouldn't even think about using CTS physics for a cup mod for these big super speedways, but it has proven to be more effective than the standard cup physics on chassis 1, and I would say it's safer in speeds compared to cup physics in chassis 3. That's a 20 mile per hour difference at very minimum, but with the revelations that the inner community has built up, it is going to be a huge learning curve for those drivers, as you mentioned.
And like I said, I know I've said it again and again, but like 250 laps, you know, typically most in our leagues don't run those big distances. It's going to be a lot of time. If you can survive, there's going to be a good amount of time to put that together. But you also don't want to put yourself in a bad spot either. It's really about finding that right rhythm early into the race.
Right, you want to be in the back from the start so you can get a good understanding of who is aggressive, who's passive, and where to go in terms of who to follow and all that. But you can't necessarily just stay back there. In the event of green flag pit stop, that is the crucial point to where if you do get separated, you're ultimately going to have less and less chances to get back to the lead pack. And if there isn't a caution to aid them, which, give or take, it may happen anyway, but still, I would personally would like to stay with the biggest amount of cars in a group as much as I can to get the experience needed.
Right. Right, yeah, it's just kind of says long race. It's gonna be a lot of different factors going into this event.
Again, longer happy hour than usual. AGG just going over every bit of detail during the drivers meeting here. Just get everyone familiarized that they're, I believe it was to be a 1 or 2 months off season. It didn't seem like much, but with the burnout the NR community has experienced, it shouldn't be too surprising that like some people are still burnt out. They still want to get their rest, but at the same time they're amped up to see what occurs tonight and what IFAR has in store for us.
Definitely so. And of all the leagues, this league has the longest season opener in terms of distance. I don't believe any other leagues have experimented with 250 miler season openers, so good on IFAR for opening those testing grounds and even executing on it. And I think they, if I remember right, did they have a 100 lapper last season for the season opener as well?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I believe they've done that for the past few seasons now.
Yeah, I think they have. Yeah, so so far, I think it's proved to be some good racing. I think that's been a good call there.
And yeah, and just for context, for any league that runs a Daytona 500, they aim for like 40, 50 laps, and probably the longest you'll see is 60 laps. So IFAR basically beat them to the punch, to your point, really testing the grounds, and has been proven very effective to the point where right now we got technically 3 endurance races, which it's just a different discipline altogether. Like, you got that mental strain going on throughout the race, on top of, at least for tonight, just a whole bunch of strategy that goes in. That's just when to pit, where to place your car, who you're working with. It's just, from the start of the race to the end of the race, there's going to be a huge difference of exhaustion for these drivers to see who's the best at conquering it.
Yep. And, you know, with the CTS being the way it is, you know, I think the runs are going to be good. I think the racing is probably going to be pretty solid overall. It depends on who's willing to make moves. And you're probably not going to see nothing too crazy at the beginning, but it's all going to get down to just being comfortable with it. And, you know, some of these guys have raced it before, but obviously, you know, you're not going to come off fresh just like you ran it last week. It's been a minute since these guys have ran at least the IFAR Daytona, so it's probably going to be a few laps before we start seeing anything too crazy. I don't know, I could be wrong, but that's my thinking. Hopefully nothing too crazy at the beginning.
Well, I agree and disagree at the same time. It's like, you got the pinnacle that is IFAR. I hate to glaze them, but I feel like this is one of the leagues where you got both clean racing and competitive competition. So you got that definitive mix of racing, and you're not going to see that many yellows, at least I hope not. But at the same time, it's Daytona. Anything can happen. Everyone's greedy. Everyone has the same idea. They want to win the IFAR 250.
Right. Well, looks like we're getting down towards the end of this happy hour session. Here in about a little bit of an intermission and 100 laps, we will crown our Season 17 IFAR 250 winner. And it's race time.
Drivers, to your cars.
Well,
Ready? Go ahead.
You got 40 laps on a tank. Give or take a couple laps, or maybe not a couple laps, but give or take some laps. I don't know how strategy's going to go. I think yellows are going to be a factor in that, but again, 40 laps on a tank. So if this does end up going green, it's a two-stopper. Again, 100 laps, so it's going to be an interesting race tonight.
Yep. And with these drivers, with the experience they've gathered throughout these plate races, at least with that season, at very minimum, they have to have the same consensus of just don't commence any kind of destruction amongst each other. Just let the laps wind down and then figure out who is the best. Engines have fired and the cars are rolling. 32 cars for tonight's season opener, 100 laps. It is 1x rare for tonight's. This TalhaDevYT will have that treatment. CTS, physics, and points of no return is at 4 to go. We've given this league a lot of patience throughout the off season, and now it is the time to see if they have delivered. Please, car shall dive in. It is the two league admins or they can wreck themselves. That works too.
I think they're having to do a restart. Someone blew second gear. Back on.
Daniel Stella blew second gear.
Alright, well. Let these guys get the carnage out and we'll try this again.
That's definitely going to be clipped out of context.
Probably, yeah.
Drivers, to your cars.
The pinnacle of NR racing, right say before the green flag.
Reminds me of that, what was that, that Monza clip.
Just waiting on one more, and that be our pole sitter, Gonzalez-Greene. There he is.
Start your engines!
Alrighty, tries again. 32 cars roll off. Upon dawn in Daytona Beach, Florida, 32 DBA machines set to go under the lights at the Daytona International Speedway. We've waited throughout the off-season to see if IFAR shall deliver, and today it is presentation day. The pace car shall dive in. Alexander Gonzalez-Greene and Joshua Clements into the restart zone. And we are green and IFAR.
Oh.
Oh, they're dead. And that has the server issue, it looked like.
Yeah. Daggum.
It's going to be another reset, and EGG being more lenient this time. Usually it'll be only 1 or 2 laps. At least for tonight's event, it'll be 3 to 4 laps
To your cars.
to deem the race official. We didn't get one in, unfortunately.
Yeah, I can understand that leniency, this being such a long race. So while they're gridding up, couldn't help but notice on the Sunoco sign off of turn 4, there is a NASCAR official sitting on top of that. I don't know, it sounds so odd to me. It looks so odd to me from this angle.
I think back then they doubled down as a flag stand back when the track lights weren't a thing.
Drivers,
Caution lights,
start
rather.
your engines.
Alright. Oh, I'm gonna try it again. And hopefully, no hiccups this time.
Got 2 generations of Jimmy Johnson inspired liveries on the front row. I believe this one by EGG is from 2018, 17, somewhere around there. And Joshua Clements in reference to 2013 livery, the same year Johnson won his, I believe, second Daytona 500. Third time's a charm here. Not the best presentation so far for IFAR standards, but hopefully we can get going, and we shall at Daytona. This time a much better start for Clements on that outside. It looked like before he just didn't get going upon the green flag. It's just really hard to time it, especially when you're just getting the race started. But at least now he's keeping his car to knees, or they can break again.
That was avoidable.
Uh,
Also wanted to note there, Carl Childress had blown an engine there, so good break for him on that.
Random engine failure, RNG failure. At least AGG's lenient, but this is the last time he's going to be lenient. Just whatever happens from this next reset on, it's a caution no matter what.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good call there. Yeah, you can only give so much leniency to get these guys going, but Yeah, I guess some of these guys still a little rusty.
Is it perhaps karma for us glazing IFAR the way we did?
Uh, maybe. This could be a way of looking at it.
So we've had a broken gear, a server moment, an RNG engine failure. What will trigger the first caution?
Well, actually, I don't know if they're going to originally actually do the restart for that second one, but Trevor Davis had slipped up out of line and kind of wiped out the field there, so that was kind of the nail in that coffin.
Drivers, start your engines!
Same song, same dance. 32 cars roll off as they were gridded up on the back straightaway. Get us going as soon as we can. Just a quick reminder, since it's been a little while, 100 laps, CTS physics, 1 expert, so we're guaranteed at least 2 pit stops. And points on no return at 4 laps to go, or somewhere around there. It is dawn in Daytona Beach, Florida, but that doesn't mean the night is over. The show has just only begun. Gonzalez-Greene and Clements in the restart zone, and we are green for the IFAR 250. A little similar to before, the most recent attempt that is. Just these two able to break off even at the green flag, although it had a hint of what was now 2 attempts ago where AGT was blocking out the 92, but looks to me that the 18 will lead the opening lap. That is Trevor Davis' 5th car in line on the inside, warping quite a bit. Your Season 9 Daytona champion, and already having some internet problems. Number 20, Daniel Rodriguez already slipping back and trying to stay out of everyone's way. Carl Childress doing the same on the apron. At least from what we've seen with the previous attempts, there probably might be an early wreck, so I don't blame them for wanting to back out a bit early. Two laps already under the belt. It is pretty much top 5 remain unchanged from their qualifying. AGG's leading both laps so far, having a push from William Viola, the regular season champion from last season. On top side, it is Joshua Clemens, number 92, moved over to Shijidan, while Cole Rodriguez and number 91 just behind him, he's moved over to Star Sport. So, well, I was gonna say a bit of exchange, but technically it isn't.
Yeah. Connor Bloom, he's also falling back to that back of the pack there, trying to kind of just stay out of trouble right now.
And one thing about CTS physics is that if you're asked out of the train of cars, you don't get a good enough run to not develop the run terribly, but just Not enough compared to someone ahead of him like Barnett or Lorenzo, number 64. They can still build up a run and get by people. Not so much for Connor Bloom, acting as the caboose.
Yeah, they're actually like 3 wide for last right now. Or second to last, rather.
And they're still trying to sort themselves out. Maybe peeking for a 3 wide move along the outside. Back to the front, AGG and Viola have cleared the 92, so those two currently on their own, although not broken off. Is Lanalao and July Hollow behind them next to up to potentially clear the 92. Right now, from the outside, it seems
Far on the
that...
wall.
Oh,
Wreck in the back. Scubs Gonzalez, Connor Bloom, and I believe that's Carl Childress involved in that.
that'll be caution number 1 on lap number 5.
I was just talking about how Connor Bloom is wanting to stay out there in the back, kind of try not to get wrecked. Well, unfortunately, that strategy did not come to fruition. Came right outside my field of view as well.
Trying to look here. It looked like a stack up on the outside started with Troxel and TalhaDevYT 21 and 14 respectively. Then that stack up found their way to the Snake's rear end with Roman Gonzalez and crew, Childress and Connor Bloom. So under caution, no-brainer decision to pit, which is open right now, to top off on field. Could see someone taking tires, whether be on accident or just they want better handling compared to those who are either staying out or just topping off.
Yeah, I think a lot of these guys up front eyeballing that track position, but almost everybody behind them is opting to pit. You see Garson Muyong there deciding against it. But yeah, a lot of those guys like that track position they have right now.
Yeah. Field being led down the pit lane by Joshua Clements, who gives up the top 5 position he had. It'll be him, 13, and 71. The top 3 out of the pit lane. So it'll be Clements, Skylar Den, and Ryan Scarrett.
Alright, so now you have a few guys up front. They got about 5 laps less fuel than the rest of this field, but they also have that track position. So if it does go green for the next 45 laps, or well, no, it's just straight next 40 laps, I think I could pose an interesting thing there for sure when we start seeing potential green flag pit stops.
Yeah, 5 laps doesn't sound a lot, but it can play a huge factor here, even if it's only lap 7. Choose cone should be up the road here from the leaders. Top A have elected to stay out. We top 2 of HG and Viola keeping the inside as they were. So that hands the 81 of Lanalao the outside open space. Cole Rodriguez tugging in behind. 3 Toyotas in a line as Rivera also jumps up with them. Jelani in the number 19, another Toyota on the inside. It's effectively a Toyota sandwich around Viola. I should probably say that.
outside. Didn't look to be too strong on that last and on that initial start. So Lando Lyle, he's gonna try his hand up there, see what he can make work of it.
Number 18 has control. He can call the green flag in game chat anywhere within that restart zone. And we are green. Trevor Davis pretty much stacking up the entire inside line as he continues to warp.
Yeah, that is.
And there's another yellow.
Crash in the back. 32 William Gregory.
And Talha, Austin Barnett, and Connor Bloom, unfortunately, once again, I believe.
Very curious to see what caused that. Yeah, I think it was just that stack up. I'm gonna go. Let's get a camera angle here.
Yeah, 22, Trevor Davis warping as the green flag was called. Didn't get going. Scarlet in directly behind. Then scared, and much like before, it found its way toward the back of the pack. Eric Crawford got a piece of it, getting tagged by Gregory. Talha, Barnett, and Connor Bloom having to slow down by their various needs.
Yeah, kind of just a domino effect there.
So everyone has caught up. Pit lane is open. Well, seeing that we didn't get to turn 1, we didn't get a good idea of how much that 5-lap advantage of fuel will partake into Clementson crew that pitted on the first caution flag. So it was top 8 that elected to stay out has become the top 7.
All right. Maybe like a lap difference between those other, or actually a couple lap difference between that other guys, or the other few cars that made pit stops. Some of them may have already came back in and pit here, pretty sure.
Troxel, number 21, the first to pit under this period of caution laps, and it's lined up back 64, Lorenzo, Herman Gonzalez. Also, so to your point, kind of just a 1-lap difference, so I feel like it could work something with it. It's just that they need everyone under this caution period who pitted to be on the same page and just extend it just a lap further than the group of cars that pitted under the first yellow.
Right.
Choosing this lap and just fasten the caution periods here. The choose cone has been located just before turn 3, just at the exit of the Le Mans chicane.
No, it was lag. Don't worry about it.
So this time, Viola opts to take his own route. He wants the lead. He was pushing AGG in that opening stint of laps that we did muster, but he's gonna have Dan Rivera to potentially challenge for the lead here as we're ready to restart. Number 18 has control once again, the black and white Toyota on the inside, and we are green. How Josh Muda spun out under yellow, I have no idea.
That's impressive. Alright, well, regardless, back to the front.
Oh, it's control disconnected, that's the issue.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate set of circumstances to Yeah, that race is going pretty rough so far now.
Yeah, back up front meanwhile. HG went up to block Viola. That opens up the door to let Landon Lau through with help from Cole Rodriguez and July Hollow. Along with Scarrett, those four narrowly let the 81 lead a lap here.
Do they give out points for lap lead?
Don't think so. It's only for pole position and most laps.
All right.
The outside line starting to form back up here as Clemens had a little bit of a downsy there. Same with Daniel Silla, who is ace car on the top side, number 98. And just a couple car lengths ahead, it is Juku Shonome, number 31, peeking outside. So he wants to be ambitious. He wants to try that third line, but at least for now, no one's wanting to go with him. Maybe Clements be better off leading that third line.
Yeah. I can understand maybe wanting to go for some spots this early in the race. Only lap 12, I don't know. Bit of a gamble trying to make it 3 this early, but if you feel like it needs to be done, then so be it.
Well, here comes D-Dog, wanting 3 wide. No one's gonna help him though, so he'll quickly slip back unless he gets some emergency assistance. He was 7th in line on the top side.
Honor Bloom, he looks like he might be falling out of the draft here in that 9 car.
Yeah, I saw him drop back again on the backstretch, so again, you don't get any better draft as the caboose of the draft compared to someone in the mid pack, so you'll have to wait for another yellow if it ever comes. We'll stack up on the inside, and that's nearly all the Fords wrecked up, but they somehow save it. It was Benoni, Sebastian Maya, and Cameron Jamison the worst affected.
That is impressive how they were able to keep those cars straight. Now, this is going to really hurt this draft up quite a bit. Meanwhile, I think we got some almost 3 wide going up here in the front. 1 car slow off a pit road. Yeah, they got 3 lanes now. Carson Million.
Garson, number 70, the pink and white Ford, along with Joshua Clements, new teammates of his. And gain more assistance. That leaves 4 cars in the middle line. EGG, William Viola, Daniel Rivera, and Jukusho no man.
Oh, and there goes William Viola.
And it's going to be a big one here.
Oh my gosh, the 27 is flipping. Holy moly. Big one. Dare I say the big one. 31 car is upside down.
Clements has his front nose stuck on the top side of the barrier. And yet 27 smoking. He's going to be heading to the garage early.
A lot of good cars just completely wiped out there by one singular checkup.
31 Shunome having to tow, unfortunately. He was looking really strong early.
And it's only lap 14. Alright. Do I have a single good camera angle for this corner here? Because TV1's crap and TV2 is not the best.
Not really, unless you want to work it out with Spectator. I've just been using helicopter this entire time.
Spectator's not bad. Let's get a Spectator replay. So yeah, I think there was just a bit of a check up there. The 27 might have had to get loose or something. The 15 nowhere to go. Oh my goodness. 92. Yeah. That was just a horrendous crash. Shinonome, Rivera's upside down. 2 cars upside down after this. It's a terrible accident here into turn 3 here at Daytona. See if I can get a good camera angle. What happened to the 92? They completely got their J's crease there.
Yeah, just a little bit of warp left line from the 27 Viola And that kind of got treated as a netcode on NR's part. Sent him with a downgrade of speed, and when you're in the middle, boxed in, full of race cars, you can only hope that Rivera and Shunome get the memo immediately. Unfortunately, there was just not enough time for them to slow down.
And I'll get one last little roof cam view from a 31. Actually, I think the 31 would probably be a good view.
It depends. You'll see why. In the meanwhile, pit lane has opened up. 24 and 70 are already there, getting their damage repaired. And just about everyone, not everyone, 100%. It looked like Joe Shmuda, who has rejoined the race 5 laps down, fixing his controller issues, but the better driver to look at here on the lead lap, number 14, TalhaDevYT.
Looks like a good stop there from Ryan Scarrett. They might be up here going for some stuff.
And allow EGG and scare your top 3 off the pit lane. Daniel Silla finds his way to the top 5 as well.
I'll stay out.
Well, I let you run through Choose Cone first, but take a look at Clements when you get a chance.
Okay. Like on the replay or like right now? Or like live?
Just whenever you can.
Okay.
On live, that is.
Gotcha.
We'll see how this choose comes up first. Tyler chooses inside, and allow outside. EGG and Daniel Silla make up row 2.
Oh my gosh. I just seen what you're talking about.
And Clemens is gonna have a rough night here.
Rough is an understatement. I'm surprised. I'd be shocked if this thing makes it 5 more laps. If this thing makes it 5 more laps, I'd say that's the night. That's a race well done. Daggum. They got trashed there. You can see Joe Muda on the apron, or Joe Schmuda rather, on the apron there as we head to the restart here.
Yep. Shmuda's lap, so that gives 14 and TalhaDevYT in control. And after 16 laps, 3 caution periods, we are back green. Outside, now organized. Allows the 14 and Gonzalez-Greene to clear, although that number 18 already on the move with a better restart. Trying to look outside. The 81's not with them. It'll be Daniel Silla giving Aziz a push. Ryan Scarrett third in line on the inside. And now AGG gets his assistance, although a little too late. They allow second in line. It'll be D-Dog third and top side, and Carson Muyang.
And you want to know a little shocking fact after that? To my knowledge, and we got a spinner.
Oh, that's Jelani gonna keep it on the apron. Nearly clips the 73 and 8 cars beside him, but they keep it straight.
That was a really good save there by Jelani Howell to keep that thing straight and not have anyone else involved in that. Yeah, I was going to say, despite that insanely large incident that we had there just a few laps ago, every car that started is still currently running.
Somehow.
That 92 car, I don't know if I would say it's running right now. It's kind of a zombie of what it once was. That thing is seen better days than is an understatement. That thing is toast.
So he's going, I want to say, at least 175. The leader's doing closer to 200, if not at 200.
And Viola down pit road, I think he's going to call the night, so he may end up being our first retiree if that is the case.
Yeah, it really sucks. He ended off last season in the runner-up for the Drivers' Championship, so really sucks that he gets to open up his season in the infield, and that is indeed our first retirement of the IFAR 250.
And it's all about that. You're talking before, it's going to be an endurance, and if you can survive, it's going to be big on how you make your moves towards the end of the race. And you know, that big wreck behind lap 14 is just took a lot of guys out of contention for this thing.
Still got some heavy hitters still at the front. AGG on the outside has taken back the lead. Dan Rodriguez really good at these big super speedways in second place. Same goes for Scarrett third on the top side. Charlie Davis fifth in line on the outside. Seems to have figured out his connection issues. He's pushing along Roman Gonzalez.
I think Talha here, I think he really needed that yellow to happen with the 19. If we get a good long run going here, he's going to be at a bit of a deficit on gas. I don't know exactly how many laps, but he's cooked if we stay green.
Yeah, trying something different, and it's a reasonable move in theory with the early yellows, but while the league does not incorporate caution cooldowns, if there's a long enough run, the 14 will be forced to pit by his lump sum. Garson, he peeked outside. No one directly behind him to help him.
Yeah, gonna hurt the momentum of that top a little bit time being, but there's still a lot of laps to kind of get that rebuilt.
So closing in on a quarterway mark of the IFAR 250 is Lane Lau, your race leader. TalhaDevYT promoted to P2, Daniel Silla in the podium places. I never thought I'd say that in an IFAR race. Cole Rodriguez in P4. Giampanoni got involved in a little stack up just before the yellow. Taking out pretty much a good race cars in the top 5, battling Garson.
Yeah, Gino, I mean, he's been caught in the crossfire a few times tonight with those wrecks. Had some really close calls there. So far, a pretty solid recovery from being back there.
And it's not the first time he had to kind of deal with that. Talladega, he got wrecked from the lead, was able to rebound to a top 10 finish.
Yep, night's still young.
Now the outside is starting to dissipate. Garcia Millan and Daniel Rodriguez in the middle. So that's a 2-car tandem trying to fend off AGG, Ryan Scarrett. Roman Gonzalez kind of indecisive on who to go with. But now he's going to stick up outside along with Lorenzo as Ruby Estes is trying to find their way through the middle, but ultimately goes back to the inside.
Now you don't see, oh my, Phil Parker, close call there. But you don't see everybody in this field up here. I still think there's some other cars in this field that have competitive speed where they can stay in this draft. It's just that stack up we had with the 19 that we didn't get the yellow for. I think that's really, there's just a few good cars from that, including Jelani, I think, that could be up here in this pack. Just with that happening, it caused them to lose the drafts. They're probably having to work together further on back. See Carl Childress leading that second draft, essentially, with all those cars that kind of got caught up in that.
Yeah, Jelani also pretty good at the super speedways. That pretty lost his mojo as of recent seasons, but as they nearly wreck, trying to push the pusher, if you will, Juco, he was looking strong early on. Connor Bloom has been pretty unlucky. Eric Crawford led a good chunk of laps in last season's race. He's stuck back there. Now a lot of back haven't really seen much of that number 3 machine.
You see these guys, you know, getting aggressive, trying to push the pusher out. They're making a lot of moving, or doing a lot of moving right now, which is not going to help them at all. But I think a lot of that's desperation. Like, let's try to minimize that time lost. Obviously, not doing too good of a job right now for most of these guys, but just that desperation kind of kicking in there.
Yeah, at least with Jelani in correspondence to the race leader, which is Lane Lyle. Still, it is 9.5 seconds, and they continue to lose time. It was temporarily a single file train amongst the top 10 cars, but looks like Daniel Silla, Garza Mullion, and Brandon Gregory are opting to try this again. Number 18 peeking outside, but chooses not to go just yet. Just simply not enough cars. At the current moment, there is Cameron Jameson and Roman Gonzalez, pair of 4s, trying to work their way back to those two. What was 3, as Daniel Silla peeks back down to the inside. So yeah, the outside kind of just not going anywhere. I feel like with Talha's case, as the only car to stay out of the most recent caution, he's definitely in a good spot, track position wise, but again, not necessarily in a strategy playbook.
Yeah, he's gonna have to get a yellow or something to play in his favor, otherwise he's gonna be pretty cooked here.
See Clements down the pit lane, just a mess of a race car, and he has called it as well. So 2 retirements now, unfortunately. 2 really strong contenders, him and Viola. The first 2 retirements out of the IFAR 250.
Yeah, and I can kind of understand Josh trying to stay up, see if he can grab a couple more spots. Maybe some cars that might also know they're off pace. Like, you've seen Viola, he called it down pit road. And, you know, Josh, obviously with his damage, was pretty substantial. He was not going to be competitive whatsoever, so probably just not want to be a hazard on the track. Just going ahead and call it a night.
Yeah, I didn't call out those speeds just to be funny with Clements, although I had a hint of it. It's still sensible to just pull off the track, not risk the others' safety, as they're blowing by him 20 to 30 miles per hour faster, and that's just really a reckless kind of range that the Lap cars would rather not have to deal with. And they 10 to 5 lap, 15 laps, ideally.
Yeah.
Get a run from AGG. He was 5th in line. He's got scared, and Chris Stallmeyer behind him to trench him along the side. Nice moving, and it's going to be a wreck. Oh, who's out in the ballpark? And that is Trevor Davis. He's in the grandstands or underneath it.
Oh no! Oh my gosh! That's crazy.
Stallmeyer calls to a stop, and Trevor Davis has called a tow truck. I'm surprised they were able to recover him.
That's impressive. We'll get a replay on that here in a second. Daggum. Yeah, Chris Stallmeyer just out of nowhere just started warping like crazy, and Thomas Troxel is absolutely getting his car junked there. There's gonna be a lot to look at here. Yeah, that 21 car, that thing's done. They might be able to still race, but
Troxel, unfortunately, side by side with Stallmeyer, and it's just a helpless feeling when you're getting wrecked by a warping car, you can't do much except just hope that you make it out alive. Unfortunately, Troxel didn't. 6, I believe that is.
Oh my gosh.
Ruby
Oh my
Estes also
gosh.
flipping.
Oh my gosh. Trevor Davis is dead.
Why would he do that?
He's got flung into the. I hope TV2 has something good for this, or TV1 or something, bro. Oh my gosh.
TV1's pretty good.
Oh.
And it's still running.
That's insane. They got some amazing mechanics over there. I think in all the broadcasts I've done, I don't think I've ever seen a car fly out of the track like that before.
That came close a few seasons back.
Well, you did go out of the track, and you kind of flipped over the fence. Let's get one last view here from the roof cam, then I think we'll go ahead and check on pit road or where the leaders are at.
Off the pit lane, it was Cole Rodriguez narrowly edging Lau and AGG. And who wrecked up pit lane?
Someone in the chat said, sources tell me Trevor Davis is stable. Please, God. Oh my gosh, that's nuts. That's insane.
He's running.
Somehow
That's all
that
that
thing...
matters, I guess. Well, during that, Concertfly pit stops have already been commenced. The 15 of Daniel Rivera gets tapped around by Daniel Rodriguez trying to find his pit box and was facing backwards in the pit lane.
Alright.
Choose cone this time. Thomas Troxel, one of those cars involved, having to go to the rear. Actually seen Troxel's car, godly.
Yeah.
It's not the worst one we've seen tonight, but it is really out of shape.
Yeah, you got... I mean, you had the Whataburger special there, I guess you could say. Absolutely junked.
Stallmeyer called it quits after that warp wreck, making him retirement number 3. Joe Schmude is still the only car laps down the other 28 on the lead lap, as it is, I believe, the 91 of Cole Rodriguez leading us to the green flag. Yes, it is, and he rockets off pretty big lead, a jump rather, across the line. That's something you necessarily want at Daytona, as it is the easiest way to get swamped down the lead you just got.
Let these guys get a little bit more comfortable and hopefully get some more laps in here. So I'm assuming they just pit. Yeah, they're still guaranteed.
Still guaranteed at least one pit stop.
Yeah. But yeah, a couple things I didn't get a chance to talk about during that caution. This brings some of those guys back in the pack that kind of got stuck out from that Jelani checkup. So some of those guys are back in position, along with Talha Aziz. Big break for him. We were talking about how he was going to end up in the sucker hole as Thomas Troxel. He's going to bring it down pit road. 73 of not William Gregory, but 73 of Sebastian Amaya had some contact with the 12 of Austin Barnett down the front straightaway. Took some airtime, got stuck on the wall. Sort of Tony Hawk Pro Skater. He's back going. Single car, we stay green. Also, Victor, we might have Troxel knocking down our door soon, so watch out for that.
I don't see him yet, but I'll be sure to bring him in.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking. I don't know. Usually when he wrecks out, he likes coming in the booth, which is A-okay.
And speaking of which,
Buddy was moved to your channel.
we figured you'd show up.
I still haven't even gotten a look at that wreck. It was only 35 seconds of repair? Huh. That's not that bad.
Yeah, no, you got smushed like a pancake. That was,
Yeah,
that was nuts.
I don't think my luck hero is ever going to change. I can't believe that even happened.
Yeah, and then Trevor just got absolutely flung.
Yeah, and then he's still on pace on the racetrack, and I'm destroyed and sitting on pit road getting my car repaired. He's literally outside of the stands.
I don't know how he got a towing service to go over there.
Yeah, I don't know. The AMR safety crew really needs a raise after that.
Yeah, we're gonna be sending him a big bill after this one.
Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't even get a lap lead, so like,
Oh well.
I tried to go out there to get the lap lead and then come back down to the pit road and retire, but I couldn't even do that. So, but it's okay. We got next week.
Yep.
Which I'll probably wreck out of. No, my luck.
You'll find a way.
Yeah, I'll find a way. I always find a way. If I'm even close to the lead, I just wreck. So.
So back to the on-track action. It is default to single file train. It is Cole Rodriguez leading over Landon Lau. HG holding firm in third. Defending league champion Gio Bononi in fourth. Garza moving in fifth. And 2 points earlier, Zag about July and Carl. Both of them are 6th and 8th currently. And TalhaDevYT, big break for him, and the pit stop strategy that wasn't going to go into his favor if it stayed green. He's still in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, we've had most of these cars that are in the top 10 really be in the top 10 the entire race. Not really too much movement of any cars in the top 10 besides, Carl being up here and Jelani with us. That incredible save earlier. Now getting back up here in the 6th spot, having himself a really good comeback story with that. But, yeah, the top 10 has stayed pretty much all the same drivers the entire race so far, minus the aforementioned Thomas Troxel, who died like not 5 laps earlier.
Yeah, rip
Yeah,
Thomas Troxel.
There's our guy warping in the back there, Connor Bloom, making his grand return to IFAR. But yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody's just decided they want the single file out.
There you go.
Wrecking in the back, Lorenzo. Roman Gonzalez, Trevor Davis again, and Phil Parker.
Gonzalez.
Oh my. Didn't look like too big of a wreck, but a wreck nonetheless is the 4th, 5th caution of the race?
I believe it's the number 5.
Yeah, number 5 on the race.
Yeah, 22 car got a little bit more damage from this, I think, than they did the other wreck.
Got more damage from sliding into the wall than they did flying out of the track.
NR 2003 will never cease to amaze.
Yeah, it's just another checkup. We've been seeing this all throughout the race so far. It's just this time it's entering the corners. It's more reasonable to not try to mid-corner bump drive someone entering turn 3 here, but you just get too big of a run and ultimately nowhere to go, and it triggers our 5th caution.
Yeah, who would have thought that you would ever need to lift for these big checkups, you know?
Super Speedway, man, you don't gotta
On
lift.
the Super Speedway, I mean, we've had really bad checkups all race long, and just I would say that's a sort of really not paying attention with all the, everybody going single file. You're not paying as much attention as you would if we were double file, but just a little bit of a lack of awareness there from the 22, and he slams right into, I would say, from the 22 and the 64, really. Mainly just all those guys in the back there not really paying too much attention and just causing that kind of needless caution, but I'm kind of happy because we get to see a little bit of action happen now with pit road. If anybody wants to come down here, it would be 60 laps to go, so you could split it in half right now if you really wanted to, if you came down right now.
Trevor Davis finally calls it quits, as well as Ruby Estes just before the caution, so that'll be 6 retirements out of the 32 cars that have started.
We see some cars coming down pit road here, starting with Daniel Rodriguez and Carl Childress, the 2 cars that were inside the top 10 before that caution came out. See what happens here. Scylla, who actually made a pretty good save after getting hit really hard in the rear bumper by I completely forgot who was even in that accident. The
That
22,
guy.
yeah,
And
the
D-Dog
22.
got turned.
Oh, well, that's great. Having a good team race right now. Looks like he got turned by the 73 of Neek, who was just trying to pull into his box. They're just unfortunate between those two. But don't really think he got too much damage out of that. Neither of them did, at least. So we'll keep it rolling. A little bit of a disaster right now, but we're doing fine.
And one thing to note for that 73, they'd actually just gotten spun a few laps before that caution came out, so good break for them to get back in this thing.
Yeah, good break for them to get back up into the field and spin a car out on pit road.
Yep.
It even did a little grinding on the front stretch wall too.
Yeah, that was like some Tony Hawk stuff, man.
Yeah,
That was something.
Doing some Skate 3 gameplay right there with the 73 Sebastian Maya.
Gonna be choose cone this time.
Coming to 60 laps to go.
Top 2 chooses inside. That'll be Cole Rodriguez and Landon Lau working together. AGG once again trying to take the lead away from the outside. He's got Scary behind him.
And then nobody else, all the way back to Landon Laudenbach on the outside, who was running in 21st place. I think he moved up a couple spots after that pit cycle, but yeah, that just shows you how many people have no confidence in the outside, which is a kind of a trend we really see a lot in IFAR plate races, which is something I don't like saying, but just, yeah, not a lot of people really having confidence in the outside or just wanting to ride it out. But yeah, you see there about seven cars sitting there on the outside. As we come to the Sierra restart zone, we will be having 60 laps to go. Cole Rodriguez is going to take us to the green flag, and we are back racing in the IFAR 250 at Daytona.
Colwell gets a better jump. AGG slots in to take second place away from Lau, who's cleared of Benoni. Yeah, the outside once again just did not get going, much like we saw a few times now on this restart. Scarrett's trying to tough it out on the outside. He's going to have Skylar Den and Daniel Rodriguez to assist.
Yeah, the driver that really helped choosing the outside there was Landon Laudenbach, who was the third car in line, and he was sitting all the way back outside the top 20 before the choose cone. He slotted himself right into 7th place right there. You love to see that for the 3 number 3 car, making his first start with the famed number 3 here at Daytona. That number has little to no success here outside of 2 races, or 3 races, I should say. But, getting a little wide there. Skylar Dagan shooting to the outside there. Going to get past 3 wide from D-Dog and Cameron Jamison, but right now everybody's trying to get back single file. We'll see if the 20's able to slot in here, and he is. He's able to slot in behind Cameron Jamison. He'll tuck right there in 13th spot. Right now everybody looking to start going single file yet again, as I guess everybody's just deciding they want to ride it out at this point during the race with all the crashing that we've had.
Yeah, I mean,
I was thinking that last time out, but then that huge big one happened with Trevor Davis and crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Don't worry.
Yeah, I think he's seen that one firsthand.
The thing that sucks about it was it wasn't even Stottlemeyer's warp didn't kill me. It was Trevor getting hit and turning into my door and flipping me into the air. And I guess combined with Stottlemeyer warping and T-boning me, he kind of just launched himself out of the track. That'll be a highlight wreck for years to come. You'll see that in the IFAR ads on your local television set, running on your local channels on Fox Sports, Trucks Nation, CBS, Cheese Food, all those media channels you watch to get your IFAR and our 2003 fixes, as we see just completely single filed out throughout the entire field. We actually have a pass going on for 23rd place. That's about the only side by side. Oh, we're spinning up at the front. Never mind. The O2 is around, only a single car. But the torture city for Roman Gonzalez yet again. Is he going to get hit? He's stopped in the middle of the track. Everybody's going to be able to avoid him. But like I said, more bad luck for Roman Gonzalez as he has spun his car around. And he's finally gotten it back going, but unless we get a caution, that looks like it's going to be the end of Roman Gonzalez's competitive day.
Yeah,
Can you even call it a competitive day given the bad luck he's had tonight?
Well, I'm calling it competitive more so as he had a shot to be in the fight in this race, not as he was doing good enough to call him competitive in like the racing sense. That's kind of a shot in the dark at him, which I apologize for, but yeah. But just bad luck on top of bad luck for Roman Gonzalez. He kind of like me in these races.
Cole Rodriguez leads the train around the 2.5 miles facility in Daytona Beach, Florida. Gonzalez-Greene P2, Lan Lau in third, Giampignoli P4, Garson Young in fifth, July Howell P6, Lan Lau back, biggest gain out of everyone so far in this race in P7 after being in the back. Talon Z's P8, Brian Scarrett P9, Carl Childress in 10th, as we're nearing halfway.
Yeah, and I mean, after that spin there from Roman Gonzalez, it really split up the back half of the pack. The last time it did that, we got 3 lanes working and the entire field wrecked, but this time we're not so fortunate. I mean, D-Dog, Silla, only 2 cars that are really still in this line. Gregory's clinging on along with Dagan and Crawford, but I mean, a lot of really damaged cars in this field outside of, I would say, the top 12 are really not damaged in this field. Which is really sad to say when we're not even halfway into a race, but that's kind of just how the cards fall right there for all of these guys. All of these guys are pretty happy with how they're running right now. They're glad that they're at least not wrecked. But everybody else, I mean, we only have a third of the field that's undamaged, I would say, so.
Right now, looks like Harry Crawford is the final car within this lead group, sitting 16th. And much like I alluded to a couple times before, CTS, and you're running the caboose of the draft, you're not getting enough of a run to really keep you comfy. It's really having him rely on Scourden to reel those 2 back in and to the lead draft, and looks like they have done just that.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be able to cling on right now, which, I mean, if it was double file, I'd say they'd have a little bit of a harder time, but since everybody's staying single file and all the checkups that come with that, it's going to be able to keep these guys in the draft. So it looks like we'll have 16 cars sitting in line here for the moment. Could pick up the 0-2 Roman Gonzalez here, who's sitting on the high side in 3 and 4, going to be caught by these guys probably by the end of next lap. Running 20 miles per hour slower, so. I mean, really, if you look through the rest of the field, there's just nothing going on. Everybody is single filed out, just driving around. Got a little bit of movement here. Looks like the 38's dropping below the double yellow. Could have been a problem with him.
Looks like a stack up with him and Carl Churches after the number 8 gave a push to Scarrett entering turn 1.
Yeah, that is exactly what that was. A little corner or a trial exit bump draft, and that's going to lose the draft for Cameron Jamison, it looks like, which was really unfortunate for him. So we will be down to 15 cars in the lead pack as they're passing the 0-2 Roman Gonzalez right now.
And that may have opened up an opportunity for Scarrett and D-Dog to try something on the outside. Never mind.
No, they just cut back down. They just wanted to get ahead of Carl, which I can't really blame them.
Another stack up allows D-Dog to try again. This time Childress follows. Maybe Daniel Silla. But just 2 cars, and to your point, no one trusts the outside anymore. And not necessarily because of the wrecks that have been happening, it's just that the inside for these super speedways is always going to be the dominant line.
Yeah, which is really unfortunate because we did do a little bit of testing there, and it looked like the lines worked, but, you know, you can only do so much in testing, and it shows up in race time, and then we just continuously wreck. Oh my god, that was a little bit of a wobble there between Talha and D-Dog. But if we can just continuously wreck, we can't really work the lines the way we want to. and then we just get to running single file until about 10 laps to go, and then we just end up wrecking again. So it sucks. I mean, I personally had no faith in the track to begin the race, but after the testing and all that, but seeing how the early part of the race went and all three lines were working for at least 2 laps, I kind of garnered a little bit of hope. But with the wrecking and the warping that caused all the wrecks, it's just it just sucks that every single plate race in IFAR turns out to be the exact same thing over and over again. So.
Well, we officially breached halfway in the IFAR 250. Got 32 cars that started the race, 6 of them in the garage, 23 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, and you see here, looks like the 20 and the 71 are trying to get thinking about trying to get something working on the top side there. Those checkups really do help the outside, but now the 71's going to pull back down in line and I guess ditch the 20. So I don't even know. Like I do this every time I come up into the booth after a plate race when I wreck out. I say, "Oh, look, we're getting some movement on the outside," and then they just fall back in line because I expect us to try to race each other with under 50 laps to go.
I feel like what's first to commentate, any IFAR plate race or the 2000 Daytona 500?
Oh.
I honestly, I don't even think that's a difficult choice. I would commentate any IFAR race because there weren't even wrecks that happened in the 2000 Daytona 500. There wasn't even an inkling of anything exciting really happening. And even then, there was a good story with Johnny Benson in the fast white car in that 10 car. He almost won the race and then ended up being Dale Jarrett. So basically, that would be like if, let's say, Jelani Howell was leading in that fast gray car and then Alexander Gonzalez-Greene just passed him with 4 to go and then just led the rest of the race. So that's basically your comparison, guys. Johnny Benson is Jelani Howell, or the other way around. Jelani Howell is Johnny Benson.
Still hanging on to 6th place right now. Got caught up in a couple early wrecks, but looking really good in terms of track position.
Yeah, I mean, especially after all the things that happened to them in the early part of the race. It's a good thing to see Jelani up here right now, running in that 6th spot, especially with that incredible save they made earlier in the race.
I believe we're now halfway through the fuel stint. The fuel can take us around 40 laps per fuel tank when elsewhere in Daytona International Speedway as they come to lap Thomas Johnson. Get at least 15, 20 laps, somewhere around there, before we see green flag pit stops. Ideally.
Yeah, you see the outside garnering one more car right now in the 32 of William Gregory. Oh, no, here comes Lawton back on the outside. He's going to fake and go back on the inside. Okay. Like I said, don't get my hopes up. Don't get my hopes up. I know exactly what's going to happen and where it's going to happen at. But still, 3 cars working at outside, so they're all going to drop back down here probably because they just got freight trained by the inside line because they have more help. And that's exactly what they do. We are back to single file. 13 cars in this line.
Let's go.
I do appreciate D-Dog keeping it interesting, though. Just trying to make that outside work a little bit. But nobody's going to go with him until at least after the pit stops, I would have to imagine. So even then, the field, I think, would get broken up a little bit. There's not really any cars that are relatively close to this line behind them. I mean, we have cars formed up in the back from 16th on back. A good line of cars, but maybe that is where our caution's going to come from. But here in about 3 to 4 laps, we will be in the fuel window to make it to the end of the race. So we might see some cars trying to test it and come down early to just make sure they're good to the end on fuel. As we see yet again the 20 and the 71 shoot to the outside of the 98 and the 14, just trying to get anything working there on the top side, but nobody on the inside's really going to budge. Lodenbach is teasing a move to the outside, but he's just not really doing anything right now with it. I can't even blame him for not wanting to go to the outside right now and lose all the track position. All these guys up here really just riding it out, just trying to make a little bit of something out of nothing.
And I say these two of D-Dog and Scarab being the most bold, even if you know it's not going to work, they're at least willing to try. I will also put Joshua Clements on that list, although he's out of the race. He's one of those people where even if it's a two wide train across Daytona or Talladega, he's willing. He'll be one of the first people to try a third line and get people to work with him.
Yeah, now you see here, looks like 5 cars have now lined up on the outside, so they might start making headway on some of the cars that are just off the tail end of the inside line. But we'll have to see here in a couple of laps. I mean, the 20 looks like he might have a run there on a. Oh, and the Lodenbach's now going up. I think. Please commit. God damn it! Come on, Landon. I know you care about track position, but we need entertainment up here in the booth, and we're just not getting it from anywhere else right now. Speaking of, I guess, a little bit of entertainment, that second pack of cars, that really long second line of cars, is about to catch the 44, 15, and 13, and the 94, I guess. So, but they're about they're half the track behind our leaders. But we'll get a little bigger of a pack rolling here as we have reached, or this time around, we're going to reach 40 laps to go, which is going to mean that we're going to be in the fuel window for the end of this race. So if any of these cars decide they want to come down and take some fuel, they'll be able to make it to the end.
I feel like if you're within a second pack, it doesn't hurt to try to capitalize on pit stops right around the corner, actually. So within the next lap, I might see a couple cars try it, because you're already in this second pack. There's nothing much you could really do other than wait for a yellow. So yeah. Ideally, you pit now and hopefully get a yellow before the leaders get the chance for their pit stop to put them back in race winning contention.
I would say it would be. I actually would think the complete opposite. I think if you're somebody who, say, in this pack that's a little bit shorter on fuel than everybody else, you call up some of your guys, just a couple of guys that you've been working with, and ask them if they want to come down to pit and just go out to the end. Because realistically, these guys in the back of the pack, if they wanted to pit right now, they would get lapped and be put a lap down by the leaders, and then be stuck a lap down if a caution were to come out. And I think it would be a better strategy for anybody that's in this first pack if they wanted to come down pit road and take some fuel if they were a little bit shorter than everybody else and they weren't going to make it. But then again, we're just kind of chasing dreams right now, trying to think of something maybe that can make this race a little bit more exciting than it has been right now. But for right now, at least, doesn't look like anybody is really coming down pit road to take that strategy, as Cameron Jamison in the back nearly just got turned and wrecked in front of the middle of the second pack. But they're keeping it together. They're getting a little bit exciting, though. Obviously, no shade to any of these drivers, but I would say they are less skilled than everybody that's up at the front of the pack right now. So if our wreck were to happen, I would assume it would happen in the back in the second pack. But I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again. So we'll just have to see. Like I said, it's pipe dreams right now, trying to chase as we've crossed the 40 to go threshold, and they're just starting to get a little bit closer to making those pit stops.
Pretty much nothing changed at the front as we are on lap 63 of 100 laps. Points no return in roughly 30 laps time. Still a chance for green flag pit stops. We're within the fuel window. It's just a matter of when.
I would assume, if it was my good guess, in the next 10 to 15 laps we would probably get our pit stops, because lap 40 was when we had our final caution, or our latest caution, I should say. Hopefully not our final caution, but our latest caution. and a couple of cars stayed out in that cycle. So we might see the pit stops here soon, not within the next 10 to 15 laps soon, and then the hopefully the racing will actually start then. But knowing IFAR and their plate racing, I doubt it happens until 2 to go. So I'm just gonna keep doubting until something changes, and it changed at Talladega, but even then, a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. So.
I mean, speaking of getting some racing in, we might get some as D-Dog and Scarrett, with their triumphs, has found their way, clawing their way through the inside lane from the outside. They're side by side with Jelani for 6th.
Yeah, the outside lane forming up just a little bit more. You see those two guys, the 3 and the 8, drop into the inside again. Hopefully it's just because they want to build a run to the outside and help them get up further. But it really doesn't look like that, as the 20 and the 71 kind of lost all their momentum there heading into the corner. But they should gain some on exit here, but they really just don't have the numbers that the inside does. And when they do get it, the outside, or the cars that are in the back on the outside, just kind of fall back in line on the inside.
We have a checkout from Garson, that pink and white Mustang in 5th place. Stacks up July Howard behind him. Might help the outside to get into the top 6 positions, at least with D-Dog and in Shelby. Now here comes Garson to lead the outside.
Yeah, I think that was a smart move to check up the 19 there to help that outside get a little bit of momentum as they're passing the 94 of Thomas Johnson. Want to give a quick shout out to him. He won the IFAR awards for... the 24 is going to the outside too, so I guess we're going to start getting some racing going as the fuel gets closer. But the 94 won the award for the most shocking performance. He got a 3rd at Talladega, if you guys remember that, and currently having a pretty bad race, running 25th. But he's still in the race, and he's still running. So I can't really fault him for anything. As
Garson
into the wall, he's going to
he saves it.
What a great save from him! I was about to get ready to start talking about the pass for the lead that was going to happen there soon, but Garson's bumper grab prevents any sort of pass from happening for the time being. I don't really think anybody besides Garson got damage in that little incident there from Garson hitting the wall. But hey, that splits up the pack a little bit. We might be able to see any sort of run build up on the outside now as cars are going to start filing in.
If there's any consolation, is Scarrett, who promotes himself to the top 5. Unfortunately for his partner D-Dog, he's gotta try all that over again.
Yeah, unfortunately they finally got something good going, and they decided they just wanted to wreck but not bring out a caution, so it's gone back to single file yet again.
But now for their alternative plan, I see some messages in game chat: pit stops. You see the 19, 20, 71, and 3, and there goes mostly all the lead lap cars.
Yeah, and everybody looks like they get in pit road fairly safely. No wrecks going into pit road. Had 3 cars stay out there. It looks like the 14, the 8, and the 3, all of those lead lap cars that stayed out on that cycle. But yeah, I mean, we're here now. It was a little bit early from when I estimated, but I guess it was pit stop time for these guys, so get a little bit of excitement going on there.
They gotta execute, as this is their first green flag pit stop of the night. Gotta bog it down from 200 to 55 miles per hour by the yellow line. And now as they exit, crossing the second yellow line, they have to get back up to speed in a unified fashion.
Yeah, and then their merge point is in turn 1, which is really good for them to try to stay connected together. But it looks like Scarrett and Gregory ended up jumping the 2 most dominant cars of this race, in Gonzalez-Greene and Cole Rodriguez. So that could prove to be something interesting. I wonder if they'll try to stay in line for right now and just keep together, as it's about only 5 cars in this lineup here. As we've got the 14, the 8, and the 3 all coming down for their pit stops. That second pack is still staying out. The 12 of Barnett leads that line along with Phil Parker, Skylar Dagan, Cameron Jamison, Harry Crawford, Lorenzo Etrovic, Funchik, and Joe Shmuda and Sebastian Amaya. All of those guys staying out the track, maybe because they pitted on that last pit stop, got a couple more laps of fuel in them than everybody else. But for right now, the 71 is the leader of everybody that pitted as they pass the 14 Atala Aziz, who I don't believe is going to be able to cling onto the pack. The 8 and the 3 might get lucky. As I don't know if you guys have Alex muted or not, but he just said that was pretty effing stupid by, I believe, the 14. I don't even know what that was really about, but...
No, that was a reference to Carl, who nearly Kevin LePage, that steaming group of lead lap cars that were about to pass him. And
yeah,
it
he's
looks
coming
that
down
number
the
8
pit
gets a black
anyway.
flag.
He got black flagged, probably not related to that, but had the black flag due to either merging late or merging early or speeding on pit road. But anyways, tough break for Carl, who was having a pretty solid run there.
So it is Scarrett, Gregory, AGG, the top 3 within this group, still waiting on this what was the second group to come in, being led by Barnett, Phil Parker, and Cameron Jamison. 30 go, now 29. They're trying to stretch their field to a point where they can take less fuel and maybe gain back some of the time, although it'll be very minimal.
Yeah. Because they're only, I mean, this pack is entering turn 1, and they are running slower than the pack that had just pitted. They're running 45 4s in the second pack, and the first pack is running 46 1s consistently throughout the entire pack. So, doesn't really look like they'll gain too much, but hey, I mean, Austin Barnett is now a lap leader in IFAR. I don't know if he led any laps 2 seasons ago, I believe it was, when he was up here at the front battling, but he's leading, oh no, it was last season, but... he's leading laps now, so real good story for him, getting those laps led. Unfortunately, it's on fuel strategy, but he's leading laps for any reason, so he's doing good right now. This little pack has stayed together, and they really haven't wrecked. The wreck almost happened at the front of the pack in that first pack, but thankfully for us, these guys have really kept it together right now as they pass the 94 and the 1 who are kind of battling a little bit. As now you see in the second pack, the 18, the 91, and the 20 all getting connected, trying to make that outside lane work. They just really want Alex or Cole to win the race really badly.
AGG 1 pole award, I believe, have led the most laps so far in this race. Brand Scarrett being the most, doing the most pushing work, helping out D-Dog just prior to green flag pit stops, getting pushed by William Gregory. Bit of a dark horse pick in my opinion as we head into the concluding quarter of this race.
Yeah, so next time around, we're going to be coming up on 26 laps to go. As still that first pack hasn't even called for pit stops yet, so they must have really good fuel numbers right now. Probably going to go until about lap 80 and then come down the pit road, but. These guys, since they sorted it out, they are starting to run a little bit faster, but like we mentioned earlier, they're only 11 seconds ahead of the everybody that pitted, so they'll still be pretty far behind. But these guys are side by side, so it's definitely not helping them, and they will be catching a lap car in the 9 of Connor Bloom. So that might prove a little bit interesting for these guys.
1.8 for that but it's now the second group, and it's around the same in terms of lap times, although I've seen a couple of times where was now the lead group, the alternate strategy with the cars that were miles off the leaders prior to green flag pit stops. It is still neutral, but there have been a couple of times where they were gaining a tenth or two, not by much.
Yeah, now you see here that inside line in that second pack is finally started to dissolve, and it's led the way for the 2 drivers that we really always see up here working together at plate tracks. The 18 Alexander Gonzalez-Greene, the 91 Cole Rodriguez leading that outside lane, trying to help train their Toyota brothers to the front of this pack. As here goes Paul looking to the inside.
Yeah, Cole Rodriguez was in a Ford when he won last season's IFAR 250. He's trying to defend his crown at this race event, but now he is in a Star Sport Toyota.
Yeah, he's in a Star Sport Toyota, and that really has not gone over well at Shedden. I can tell you that much, being in their VC and talking to those guys in the pre-race and during the race as well. They were very much not happy with the 91 being a Toyota, but now I guess it just gives those the 18 and the 19 and the 20 all the more reason to help work with that number 91, considering he's not a Shedden Ford anymore and he's a Star Sport Toyota. But yeah, he's a two-time winner of this race. He also won Echo Park 2 seasons ago, I believe, 2 or 3 seasons ago, and he's basically crowned himself as the super speedway king of sorts for IFAR. If you could really have one, I would say it would be Cole Rodriguez. The other one would be that 18 car of Alexander Gonzalez-Greene. Those two work extremely well together on plate tracks. And they're showing it right now, driving on that middle line, running 1-2 with just a bunch of Toyotas behind them to help.
Well, the alternate strategy group has finally came into pit lane as they exit. It is Barnett leading over Cameron Jameson. And Skylar Den third out of that group. They'll be caught by Garcia Mullian, Roman Gonzalez, and Jugo Shionome.
And these guys are a little bit better on fuel. I do not think we're going to have any sort of fuel strategy come into play here, but for right now, those guys are looking good on fuel and probably better on tires. If we were to get any pit stops here late in the going, they would have a little better grip than everybody else. But since those guys in the first pack are running the middle line now, I just kind of all hope lost for, oh my God, no, never mind, not all hope lost. Here comes Lyle trying to make him move to the inside, but he cuts back in line. Looks like it may have been a little bit of a checkup there as they pass Cameron Jameson, whose race has just gone completely downhill ever since that final caution.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he just had to serve his black flag, and I may have also caught him speeding once again, whether it be lack of awareness or just a game issue. I believe the 38 will have to come back in.
Yeah, and just more piling on the bad luck for that 38 team.
For the lead, 4 cars on top being led by Gonzalez-Greene. Cole Rodriguez in P2. Here comes Scarrett with help from Landon Lau.
Yeah, I think I legitimately think if these guys want any chance of beating any of the Star Sport guys, because that's basically all of them minus Daniel Rodriguez. Granted, he always works with them, but if they want any chance of beating these guys, they cannot work with them whatsoever. They have to let these guys work with only themselves, and then they will have any sort of chance of beating what seems to be the most dominant group of cars that every single time we come to a plate track. And it's kind of working right now. Scarrett's making that bottom work with help from Lyle and Talha Aziz. But, you know, those 4 cars on the top are just so good at pushing each other that it kind of doesn't really matter. And especially since the 18's the server car, you can give them a lot more harder pushes and be a little more trustworthy with them as the 24 and the 98 go to the outside as we've crossed the 20 lap to go threshold there, as those guys just start shooting back out in front. But yeah, I mean, you have to break them up, and that might break them up there. A little sort of issue between the 91 and the 20. A little bit of bumper grab in the middle of the corner splits up the outside lane, and that means the inside, which not really too organized as well, is going to have a little bit of a run. But Gonzalez-Greene is just going to shoot to the bottom and block the inside lane. I believe that's your season 11 IFAR 250 champion. I might have the seasons wrong, but he is an IFAR 250 champion, and he did win it in season 11 in that 55 car, wrecking Tyler Malloy out of the lead to win that race, which was something that was loved then and is loved even more now, as these guys are probably going to catch this group of 3 cars, Joe Shmuda, Carl Childress, and Lorenzo Etrovic-Funchik, running outside, just off the exit of turn 2 there, running about half a second faster than those guys. They will catch those guys soon. They will get into a lot of lap traffic. Not a lot, but enough to cause issues here in a few laps, which could mean some interesting racing between everybody that's up here in the lead pack. But right now, Alexander Gonzalez-Greene is still holding strong in the lead with Ryan Scarrett and Landon Lyle, the pushers, and that top line is still holding strong with the two Rodriguez's and Jelani Howell. They're sitting in third.
Yeah, but underneath 20 to go, it is potentially any one of these top 10 in picture now who get out of this race knowing that they are a IFAR 250 champion, whether they get their first or add on to their collection of Daytona wins and IFAR.
Yeah, and I mean, the two drivers that are leading the lines right now have both won an IFAR 250, and like I said, are the two most prevalent drivers on plate tracks. But if you look behind them, all the way back to Gino Bononi, last year's champion, everybody behind those two that are leading the lines have never won an IFAR race, especially D-Dog, who has the longest winless streak in IFAR history. Would be his 150th start in this race. What a moment it would be for that 20 team in DD Racing to finally get him his first ever IFAR victory, and it come in the IFAR 250.
Well, if there's any silver lining to number 20, he did muster up enough momentum to win the BPNR Talladega Chase race, but that's a whole different animal of Rex and snoozing race. But still, he brought Rowdy to victory lane in BPNR. Now, as the leaders go single file with 16 to go, he slots into 5th place.
Yeah, and you just saw they passed the 15 of Daniel Rivera right there, who's the first lap car they're going to encounter. They will encounter a group of 5 lap cars here shortly, which are going to run the exact same speed as them, considering they're so well formed up. That pack of 5 cars will catch a 6th here, and eventually the 7th car of Thomas Johnson, who has just been rolling around. He's running 24th right now, but they're going to catch this 31. But this is going to be a problem for the leader of Alexander Gonzalez-Greene. Basically, this entire line is going to have to deal with lap cars that are going to run the same speed as everybody else. They're going to have to make a move right now. There they go to the outside.
Yep, and IFAR, they do not have to adhere to blue flags. They can run their line or even race the leader. So for AGG's case, he's got to negotiate with the traffic cleanly and fend off Ryan Scarrett.
They shuffled Joe Schmuda up to the outside line in that lap traffic. That's going to be a little bit of an issue here, but it looks like they're getting through it pretty okay right now, as all of these cars, I believe, are going to fall another lap down, as all of these cars are lapped. Or most of these cars are lapped. Looks like... Actually, no, I'm a liar. I'm so stupid. All of these cars are getting lapped for the first time. I'm sorry, guys. But all these cars will fall a lap down. That will mean we will only have 14 cars on the lead lap. And even then, they're going to catch another line of 4 cars if they can keep their noses clean for the time being.
That just adds another layer of strategy. Now you got more cars within the lead pack, and Harry Crawford, Sebastian Amaya, they just got laps. They could fight amongst each other for lucky dot position. If not, try to unlap themselves a hard way. And with more traffic on the horizon here for AGG and the rest of the top 10 within this group, how do you go about this? Like, you gotta fight those who are trying to get their lap back and those who are trying to win the race.
Yeah, I mean, so you can kind of see here, most of these cars are just deciding, hey, I really don't want to beat Alex in this race, and I just want to let him win his 50th race in the series. They just want to all slip to the inside. I don't think it really matters. I think most importantly for all of those lap cars, they just want to try to keep their noses clean and not cause a massive accident, because they will stay out under the pit stop and get their laps back anyways. But for some of the drivers that are looking for their first ever win in IFAR, like Ryan Scarrett, Daniel Rodriguez, the 19 car of Jelani Howell, the 81 of Landon Lyle is running in second right now. They're just trying to look to see if they can use these lap cars as picks and circumvent the dominance of the 18 and the 91 and just get to the lead and try to hold on for these last 12 laps. But for right now, it looks like they're just all going to go back single file, which is really unfortunate because I thought with the lap cars they would decide they wanted to race again, but I guess not.
Well, unfortunately, that caused Ryan Scared to get shuffled out. He was running P2 prior to the leaders catching traffic. And to your point with EGG and Cole Rodriguez, Lane Lau has found himself in between them. And Henry Crawford, he's not giving up on trying to finish on a lead lap. He is 4th in line ahead of Julian Howell.
Yeah, and
go ahead.
No, hold on, Alex is speaking. But yeah, Harry isn't even really damaged. He just kind of got the short end of the stick with the strategy and falling off the end of the pack there. But for right now, he's holding on to 5th spot. He's not even a slow car. I imagine he will move out of the way once we reach the point of no return. But for right now, he is holding very strong there, 4th in line. It's a good, really good car to have. He's a proven plate winner in the BPNR holiday season. He won the championship in that season for my team, so I got to shout him out for that. But he's a great plate racer, and he just got the short end of the stick, but now he's sitting here 4th in line. Although he's a lap car, he's a really good car to have work with you, and especially up here in the late stages of this race, if he doesn't decide he wants to back out, it's going to be good pushes for anyone that wants to work with him.
Well, for Harry, he has moved over to Scuderia Carmona Racing for this season. Doesn't have anyone to help him, or to help, since he is lapped down. No one, I don't think any SCR cars within the top 10. But there goes Carl Childress, gonna spin down and hit exit. Only brushing the inside wall is only a single car accident.
Yeah, that was incredible. That wasn't a bigger accident as the checkup strike again. Carl Childress, only tapped the wall there, but thankfully didn't get any more damage. He didn't collect any other cars with him, even though I kind of wish he did collect a couple more cars. But that's going to break up the entire back half of this pack, and I think we're going to only have 10 cars in this line now. Maybe not even. Yeah. The 32 might fall off the pack, and we'll only have 9.
Yeah, I count, I believe, 8 lead-lap cars, as Daniel Silla scored 10th place, is stuck behind Lorenzo and Shmuda, so that's just a huge deficit.
God, I thought they were going to wreck each other. I didn't know fighting for a position that they weren't even able to get was that significant.
Eight to go. Still playing the waiting game. If you're Landon Lau, Cole Rodriguez, just anyone who wants to dethrone AGG from the top spot.
Some cars in the back of the pack looking to make a move to the outside. The 20, the 24, and the 71. They worked together earlier and got that huge run going before Garson hit the wall and broke up that pack.
Yeah, those three going to have 7 laps to try to figure it out. Here comes Jelani. He's wanting to try the outside now.
I hope Alex realizes that he is calling this out over all speak.
I have no idea what he said. I have him muted.
No, he's telling people to go up to the high side.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah, just casually reveal the game plan.
Casually reveal their game plan. So,
hey guys, we're gonna go to the outside. So if everyone else could just not do that, that'd be great.
Yeah, and here comes the 91 and the 81. Oh, they're gonna cross him and ditch the 81 out to dry on the high side. Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm not.
The outside guy,
bro, come on, man. Here comes Jelani. No. 3 wide on the outside, looking for the race lead. They have the car advantage. Is Jelani going to be able to make a move on the outside to take the race lead?
It is dead even, 4x4. TalhaDevYT is kind of playing anchor for both lines as we are ready to hit the point of no return where they come back around.
Jelani really should think about using more of that middle lane, because he might have a really good shot here with the cars, but Talha's going to go to the inside and help out the inside line, but the outside still got a good run.
So that's just how many cars you got is who you got. AGT won the best then. Fleet races. Cole Rodriguez, he's won an IFAR 250 before, as well as Echo Park. Top two on the outside. Joanne Howell, D-Dog, we've seen them be really strong at these plate tracks. Neither of them have won an IFAR race.
Yeah, and we've reached the point of no return, which means 4 laps to go. No more cautions for the rest of this race in the 17th running of the IFAR 250. It's going to be a dogfight between the 18 and the 19. But right now, the outside is looking a little less strong as they were earlier in this run. But they're going to get an extra car to help with the 14 of Talha Aziz.
Jelani over game chat just calling D-Dot to go onward. Be as aggressive as you like with the pushes.
Yeah, I mean, the two guys on the outside that have never won an IFAR race before, a combined 249 starts between them. And it's all going to come down to beating the 2 best drivers at plate tracks in IFAR. Alexander Gonzalez-Greene and Gil Rodriguez on the bottom, with Jelani Howell and Daniel Rodriguez on the top. With just 3 laps to go, it's anybody's race.
They're going to get a huge help from defending league champion Gino Bononi, third car on the outside. Scare is trying to do something, just cannot develop a run to aid their cause as we're ready to hit the 5 miles to go mark.
Yeah, coming to 2 laps to go, the outside's starting to die a little bit, which is something you don't want to see right now for the 19 and the 20. 2 laps to go, and Alexander Gonzalez-Greene has almost gotten cold clear on the outside, which that might mean that is no good for anybody that's sitting on that top side right now, and the outside is broken up. There goes Gino. He's going to fall back, and that's going to kill the outside's momentum. So now it's between the 18 and the 91, and here comes Landon Lyle, who has also never won a race in IFAR. 3 drivers who have never won a race in IFAR trying to circumvent. Oh my god, a little loose there before the 91, but they have gotten the help on the outside. But they're going to have help on the inside as well with the 44 and the 14 as we come to the white flag. Landon Lyle versus the 18 and the 91. Who is going to take the win in the 17th running of the IFAR 250?
Landon Lyle, just a formidable force last season's IFAR plate races, just came up short, 3rd place last time at Daytona International Speedway. I believe he's going to clear the 18 off of turn 2 as they rocket down the Daytona super stretch.
We're going to have to see what the 19 wants to do here. If he clears, he's going to go to the bottom. Lyle's going to block. The 20 might have a run, but the 19's going to have to sit there on the inside. Oh, what's going to happen here? Landon Lyle's leading the bottom with Jelani Howell on the inside. Will they get a run off of turn 4? Here comes Jelani. He's going to move to the inside. It's going to be a drag race. Landon Lyle gets the win at the 17th running of the IFAR 250 in a photo finish with Jelani Howell. 18 1,000ths of a second is going to give the win over the Landon Lyle, his first career win in IFAR and in his 44th career start, and it comes on the biggest stage in the IFAR 250. What a victory for Landon Lyle.
And I saw Jelani trying to back up to AGG, get one final push. He did get the momentum, but unfortunately, the 81 just made his car as wide as he is stereotyped in Discord and all that offline, just being a fast shy guy, but it ultimately pays off. First career win for Landon Lyle. Congratulations.
Yeah, and you have to feel the heartbreak for Jelani Howell. He came so close to winning that. If I was him, I would have just fucking doored the 81 into the wall and killed him. But unfortunately for him, He's going to become a bridesmaid for, I believe, the second time in his career.
Lau puts most of his resources to bring BPNR to one of the bigger NR to participate in, while still being open to the beginners. IFAR kind of have that similar motif, but Lana Lau, as a driver, is going to burn it down in front of Daytona Beach, Florida.
Well, that probably wasn't said on broadcast, but Alex said anybody could get interviewed. I don't want that.
You already got yours.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll just go through the order. If y'all want to head out before then it's fine.
No. Well, I'll interview Lyle, and then I'll probably head out.
Fair enough.
And Landon Lyle trying to blow the engine here so he can circumvent going to post-race tech and failing it to give the win to Jelani Howell.
I think he's a little too heavy to break that engine.
Put more torque into it.
Maybe.
Wow, Alex got fucking hooked straight into the wall.
Sure, he was alright.
Yeah, I don't.
I hope AGG's okay.
I just hope AGG's okay.
Yeah, it's just a mix of lack of awareness and getting a bump from Cole Rodriguez, trying to solidify his third place. Hopefully, comes up in front of D-Dog. Just a little neck in the road, and unfortunately, it comes at the race end. 1.5 hours of pure exhaustion will do that to these drivers.
Where is he going?
Over there.
I think he's trying to find
What's the
where to get into the infield because they're.
Should be,
I actually don't know. Maybe he's just celebrating. He's just pretty happy, I guess. Which I don't know why he would be. He only won his first career race. And that also continues the trend of not a single driver with over 50 starts in the series having a win. That if they haven't gotten their first career win in the first 50 races.
Oh, .com. Okay. I didn't know y'all are strapped for winners over that much. .com.
Yeah, I mean, and that's going to put Lyle in the second most starts without a win to get a win. Cole still holds it with his win when he got his first Daytona 250, but with 46 starts. But that was his 44th start, so.
He pulls into victory lane here. Kudos to Lana Lau. He is your IFAR 250 winner. Jelani Howell plays bridesman. He finishes runner-up. Bo Rodriguez in third. It'd be Brian Scarrett in P4. D-Dog P5. TalhaDevYT in P6. Gian Benoni P7. Good way to start off his defense for the IFR Championship. Gonzalez-Greene P8. William Gregory P9. And Daniel Silla getting a top 10 in IFR. Never thought I'd see it. Austin Barnett P11. Garza Mullian P12. Nana Lonnebeck P13. Skylar Den 14th. The final car to finish on the lead lap. Eric Crawford 15th. Lorenzo P16th. Cameron Jamison P17, Carl Childress in 18th, P19 is Connor Bloom, and Jukushu Nome in the top 20. Phil Parker 21st, would be Daniel Rivera in 22nd, Joe Shmuda 23rd, Thomas Johnson 24th, the final car to take the checkered flag here, and Sebastian Maya 25th, Roman Gonzalez 26th, Trevor Davis 27th, Ruby Estes 28th, Thomas Troxel 29th, and Chris Stolmer in the top 30, along with Joshua Clemens and William Viola, the 8 retirements out of 32 cars. We had a big field and a big race and a really big result to go with it.
All right. Well, looks like we're good and ready to go for post-race interviews. Let's go ahead and bring in our race winner, Landon Lyle.
Buddy
Cole
was
was gonna
moved to
do
your
something.
channel.
Yeah, no, shut up. No, you don't deserve this
You've
talk.
been kidnapped. I'm joking.
But
We-
Landon Lyle, first off, congratulations. First career win. It was your first career win, and it comes in your 44th start in the series. How do you feel, man?
44th?
Yeah.
I thought I'd been here longer. Hold on. I gotta clear my throat. Water. What was the
Angry.
question? How does it feel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
It feels great because I felt like I did everything to execute pretty well that race. It was really difficult. Obviously, the racing wasn't too crazy there for a while after the lots of wrecks. People were scared to make moves, and I was kind of in the top 5 the whole day till like the last pit stops, and I took 4 in fuel, full fuel, and I thought I was gonna lose the pack, but we got back. And I was working with the Toyotas like the whole time because they were just kind of there, especially Cole because he's a good pusher. But yeah, I know they were still like talking in their own thing, and they were probably going to work together in some way, and clearly that was evident. Almost I got sucked to the middle, and then I got back behind Cole, and Jelani went outside, and I tried so hard to get the bottom to roll past them, and it finally did, and that's when I took the move, and I can't believe it worked. I mean, Jelani honestly, I think he almost got into me. I was blocking quite a bit.
No, I
there.
was saying in the booth that if I was in Jelani's situation, I would have just fucking killed you.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, yeah, I'm just glad I didn't get bumper grabbed or something by him, because that's happened way too many times recently, and not recently, but just in general. But it's kind of funny because there's a lot of irony to this, I think, because I left D-Dog's team, and it wasn't like for any like reason. I just want to leave the team and do something different. And I finally get my first win, for whatever the crap I started by myself. So, I don't know. I'm just really happy to do it. I mean, I should be sound a lot more excited, but it's also 11:30. We've been here for like almost 3 hours, so pretty tired. But I'm super stoked that I can start the season with a win, because last season I felt like it should have went that way, but things happen, and just that's how it went. And but I can't be happier. I really can't. That was great.
I'm just glad you're not crying.
I wouldn't cry.
Real men don't cry.
It is an IFAR Daytona win, so I mean that's rarefied air, I guess, for me to do such a thing. But yeah. any questions? I don't know what to say. Otherwise,
I don't got anything.
I mean,
Okay.
realistically, do you think? I mean, since you won, that I mean, the win eluded you for so long in this series. Well, I wouldn't say that long. I mean, there's like 40 other drivers who are ahead of you and haven't won in this series before.
Yeah, sure.
But with having been so close to winning so many times and finally getting your first win this season after a really good season that you had last year, do you think that this one is going to be the confidence boost that you really need to step up your game this season and possibly go for a title fight?
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to win last season, and I got second. I mean, it's still really great when everyone else wrecks, so you can't feel like you can't really feel down after that. But yeah, this definitely boosts up my confidence a lot, and we're just gonna try to just be consistent. I say we, I guess the whole deal now. I'm just gonna try to be a little consistent and have some fun, and we'll see where it goes. That is, as far as I know, this is like my first like genuine win on my wheel. I used my wheel and pedals that whole race for smoothness reasons. I can't hold on to save my life, so that was also a big boost in confidence. Oh man. And I had my graphics and everything at maximum that whole race. was at like maybe 60 frames the whole time. So I guess that wasn't that big of an issue. But yeah, I mean, thank you. I gotta give a huge thanks to D-Dog because I've been on his team for the longest time and I'm not now. But you know, I still gotta give him some credit because he was also in that lane that helped push me. Not like he wanted to willingly, but still pushed. So, just shout out to Alex and everyone else involved to make this track. Try to build the I-9. It'd be pretty nice and make the track look pretty beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, that sky was really nice. I really like that on this track, and that's all I really gotta say. Thank you guys for broadcasting as well. Oh, and Troxel's gone.
Yeah, I think he was just done. But yeah, regardless, congrats on the win. Next week we got
Atlanta, I think.
Atlanta, yeah. So good luck there, and we'll see you then.
All right, thank you, man.
Buddy was moved out of your channel.
All right, let's see who's next. Colrod. Yeah, Colrod got there.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and bring him in.
User was moved to your channel.
Mr. Colrod, you got a copy?
What's good, guys?
All right, well, dominated most of that race. Came home P3. Looked like some different lines moving around there at the end. Pretty long race. What was your thoughts on that event?
Yeah, it was pretty decent. I mean, honestly, it went pretty well considering all that had happened. So I can't complain. We wanted obviously a little bit more, but we'll take the podium. It was, working the lines was interesting. Just the whole race was working with teammates, working with Alex there, and yeah. I mean, we had fuel strategy. We had most of it planned out. We had that little pack going, and yeah, it was a bit unfortunate on coming one lap to go. We just I guess more guys wanted to go to the outside instead of the bottom, and we ran out of time, ran out of run, and that was all she wrote. But yeah, we led the most laps. First race of a new team, starting off with the podium pretty strong. So, like I said, can't complain. Wanted a little more. But yeah, how was the chaos for you guys up there?
Well, I know at one point we had to take a look at someone flying over the stands.
That's true.
Yeah, that was definitely the highlight of the race. I did not have that on my IFAR 250 bingo card for tonight.
Yeah, I think we can compare that one to the Harry Crawford Talladega wreck now, and we can, measure. We should measure and see who got the highest. Honestly, I think we should do that. But no, yeah, that was pretty wild. I didn't even know you could go out there. But hey, we killed some fans. So if you don't like that kind of racing, don't even watch it.
Right. Victor, did you have anything?
Well, you weren't able to defend your Daytona crown, but a P3 is still a really strong start to the season. You went into last season's chase in a wildcard spot. How do you take on these other regular season races to maybe just get a little bit more comfy and finish in the top 8 come the regular season finale?
I will say probably it's honestly just going to be more of starting races because I did miss quite a few last season. I know, just through vacation and stuff. But we're kind of coming to the end of summer here, and I'm pretty done with all my vacations. But the problem for me, I guess, is going to be school. Obviously, I won't have school on Saturdays, but it's just going to depend how much work I have and how dedicated I am to staying, and if I still want to be here, which I do want to be here. So yeah, I'll certainly try to make all the races that I can, and yeah, I think we have a pretty decent schedule honestly this year. I'm looking at it here. I mean, a lot of the tracks I've run before, like a couple old tracks even came back. So yeah, I'm interested to go and see what I can do at some of these, especially where is it? Oh yeah, Pocono. I dominated Pocono last season. We'll see if the setup stays the same and stuff. We'll definitely that's one of my bingo card races, along with I guess Homestead is also not here. I guess Homestead isn't here. Okay. Oh no,
It's round 5.
Yeah, round 5. Okay, yes, missed that one. Yeah, that's a historically good track for me as well. So yeah, no, it's a fun schedule. I'm looking forward to it, and we'll see what we can do in our new Toyotas this season.
All right. Well, congrats on the podium, and we'll see you next time, man.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
User disconnected from your channel.
All right. Looks like Connor Bloom had already called it a night, so I guess we'll go ahead and bring in TalhaDevYT.
User was moved to your channel.
Mr. TalhaDevYT, you got a copy?
I got you.
All right. Well, came home with the 6th place. Considering the amount of death we've seen this race, I honestly, in my opinion, I wouldn't say that's too shabby. What was your thoughts on that race?
Yeah, it was interesting for sure. It was so hard to kind of stay in line because most of the race I was kind of the last car in packs, and my car would just kind of become a brick, and we just kept stacking up so much on the bottom. So I wasn't really sure what all that was about. The caution, I stayed out. I kind of thought I was gonna be screwed because we were getting a pretty good run, and then I don't know if that was like the caution where Stadelmeyer flew into the stands, but like
That was Trevor Davis.
Oh, Trevor Davis. I thought it was Trevor Davis that did that. I'm not sure it was Stadelmeyer that did that. I couldn't tell who that was.
4 cars did flip. Only one of them get a home run out of it.
Trevor, he barely got any damage out of that. Troxel got completely slimed out. And then the next truck that Trevor got in, he got like more damage than he got when he got flown at the track.
That
took him out of the race.
Man. And our physics and crash damage. Josh got stuck in the fence for that first run.
I seen that. He got
I had to throw myself into the grass like 2 or 3 times to avoid some of the wrecks. Like, I just became the grass mower for the day, I guess. But I'm really happy with a 6th place finish. This is actually the first time I survived a IFAR 250 without being involved in any sort of wreck or any stupid stuff happening to me. I think I got fastest lap too, so yippee. Extra point that doesn't even go to me. It just goes to the team, but hey, 8 points matter. And well, we are ahead of SCR, so we could use that for slander.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Actually, then, oh my god, Lyle actually signed himself up as Niche Motorsports.
Wait, what?
He actually signed himself up as Niche Motorsports.
No. He would do that. He would do that.
Yeah, but happy for him to get his first IFAR win.
Is he the only one on Niche Motorsports?
Yeah. I guess he wants the food budget to go only to himself. So that's why he's on his own team.
Fair enough.
Yeah. It's but what a race. I don't know what else more to say. That was crazy race, but also glad we got a pretty good green in. Nothing more to it. Happy with the top 10 and on to Atlanta.
All right. Victor, did you have anything?
No.
All right. Well, talking about you got someone else, but other than that, congrats on the top 10 again. Atlanta next week, so good luck to you there, and yeah, see you next time, man.
Yep, thank you for broadcasting.
User disconnected from
All
your
right,
channel.
looks like we do have one more guy in here. That's Lorenzo Edorovic. Funchik, I'm gonna butcher that last name. 16th place finisher. Let's go ahead and bring him in.
User was moved to your channel.
Hey, Lorenzo, you got a copy?
Yeah, I can copy.
All right, let me turn you up a little bit.
My bad.
No, you're good. You're good. All right. Well, most of that race seemed kind of like you were just, doing your thing, running your lines, running up front for a bit in that main pack. Then things kind of started shifting the other way around towards the tail end of the event. Came home 16th. What was your thoughts on that race?
Kind of got dealt a bad hand, and I did as best as I could with it. I qualified really, really bad, so I don't know. I didn't kind of even expect to qualify, to be honest, but I don't know why, because I was gonna make the field either way. But to start off, I started okay. I got up for the field. I kind of just, as you said, did my own thing, held my own lines. I had a spotter for once, so that helped massively.
Oh, who is the spotter?
A friend of mine called Nathaniel Skarupa. It helps that he's actually studying to do that in real life, so I had an actual person who knows what they're doing with me. That definitely helped.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, I just kind of, whenever the caution went up, I'd pit only for fuel. Up until, when was it, lap 31. So that would have been, I don't even know which number caution, I just know it would be one of the cautions. I went in, changed all 4 tires. I kind of had to wiggle out of my pit box because I had someone in front of me. Basically had to make a 3-point turn, so I lost the time there. Still managed to catch back up though. Once the lead pack pit, I waited another lap when the group I was with pitted, because I thought, I had 4 more laps of fuel. I could maybe drag it out a bit longer, but I only dragged it out another lap, and then I had a slow stop. I think if I didn't have that slow stop, I would have came out right in front of Skyler, who was running 14th at that moment, so it might have been a different story in the end, but
All right.
Some definitely terrifying moments. There was one caution where I just had no time to react at all, and then I got collected in the high lane. And some cautions which I'm surprised I managed to avoid. Overall, not an impressive of a result, but knowing myself, I'm happy. Hopefully better in Atlanta as well.
Could be worse.
Exactly.
Yeah. Victor, do you have anything for Lorenzo?
No.
All right. Well, we got Atlanta coming up next week. Assuming you're able to make that, what's your confidence level at for that track?
Well, I will say I always prefer like speedways and intermediates than any other track. I wouldn't say I'm like brilliant at either, but it just kind of feels more natural for me to drive at them. So I came into Daytona today with minimal practice, if any at all. I might actually give Atlanta a crack during the week coming up and then see what's gonna happen.
All right. Well, I didn't have anything else for you. Not the best of finishes, but hey, you finished the race. There's a few drivers that can't say the same. So, take what you can get, and congrats on, I guess, a 16th place finish.
Thank you.
All right. See you next time.
See you, Matt.
User left your channel.
All right. Well, I think that's gonna go ahead and do it here. Victor, you got anything you wanted to say?
Well, all that anticipation pretty much devolved into, I hate to call it a snoozer, because at least the finish was pretty good, and when there was side by side, it was a bit interesting, but to Troxel's point, and we even saw this at Talladega, it's just one of those things where you got a long race, and therefore people aren't going to be aggressive, and thus we get this single foul train that we saw for quite a while during the middle portion. But I still commend Hamza Gonzalez-Greene and Joshua Clemens for putting in their best efforts to make the product out there as best as they can, given the limited amount of cars. And also thanks to Troxel, despite his DNF in the most unfortunate way possible, he shined the booth with his sense of humor once again.
All right. Well, I know we got a BPNR coming up. I don't know if that's. I think they got like some kind of Speed Weeks thing going. I know. Isn't that like a week or no, a week and a half? No, 2 weeks until Daytona.
Like starting Monday, it is 1 week of qualifying, but Tuesday is actual racing. The Cup cars are going to do the Clash.
Oh crap! I gotta get my schemes in. I gotta get all the schemes in. Back home. Got lock in on
It's
that.
sad that I have more number cards for their truck division compared to the cup division.
Yeah, I gotta make my truck too. There we go. But yeah, that'll be interesting to look forward to. And I think I should be able to do IFAR again next week, obviously, and I think I should be free for Gnarl. I have to check my schedule in. I'm not 1,000,000% sure. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it. I want to thank Victor for holding out for this very extensive event here, and obviously Troxel joining us there late in the running, or I say late in the running, a little bit after the quarter of the race. And I want to thank AGG, Joshua Clemens, for putting this all together for us. And sure to like, subscribe if you enjoyed, and other than that, we'll see you next time.